I'm Julia Sondu, showing you where development is happening. Please come and join us. Israeli army displays tunnel beneath Al-Shifa it says served as Hamas hideout. The Israeli army showed a reinforced tunnel beside Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza on Wednesday, complete with a bathroom, kitchen and an air-conditioned meeting room that it said had served as a command post for Hamas fighters. The tunnel shaft, some 2 meters (6.5 feet) high, was accessed through an outdoor shaft in the hospital complex grounds, which were once crowded with tens of thousands of Palestinian civilians the army said had served as a human shield from war. That's the way that they survive because they use the hospital as a human shield that protects them, said Colonel Elad Suri, commander of an Israeli armored brigade that found the tunnel. And here they can stay for a long time. There is a room with air conditioning inside. Israel has long accused Hamas of using the Shifa hospital complex as a command and control center as part of a wider strategy that seeks to hide its forces among the civilian population. Hamas and hospital officials have denied the accusation, and the hospital site has been at the center of accusations of war crimes on both sides, with Palestinians accusing Israel of targeting hospitals and Israel saying the sites were being used to shelter armed fighters. Journalists were driven in Israeli military vehicles to the hospital complex in the northern Gaza Strip past a landscape of buildings destroyed or vacated during Israel's nearly 7-week-old invasion of the Palestinian enclave. Graced with arches, the tunnel was a well-built structure lined with stone and concrete. Army escorts used flashlights to illuminate the way in the dark and showed a small kitchen, a bathroom equipped with a toilet and sink behind a closed door, as well as a room large enough for meetings with 2 metal beds. We assume that there is another way out that they prepared. It's not open yet, and we are sure that there are ways to the city from here, Suri said. He said the army knew the tunnel led to another opening in a Gaza kindergarten. Israel has faced international criticism for its Gaza campaign, including its attacks on Shifa, the enclave's largest hospital. Outside on the ground, the army showed scores of guns, grenades and other explosives that military spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said had been collected in recent days inside the hospital, a motorhome and nearby cars. He said the body of one hostage, Noah Marciano, 19, had been recovered by the army outside a nearby medical clinic. In Washington, the White House has said its independent intelligence supported Israel's claim that Hamas was using Gaza's hospitals, including Shifa, to hide command posts. Hamas responded at the time, the White House and the Pentagon's adoption of the false Israeli narrative, claiming that the resistance is using Al-Shifa medical complex for military purposes, was a green light for the occupation, Israel. But Hagari, referring to Hamas' use of a hideout beneath the hospital, said, "The world now should say what happened in Shifa, what happened in the hospitals, is a war crime." Post joins Israeli forces in Hamas's Gaza tunnel underworld. This was the first time a reporter from the Jerusalem Post crossed into Gaza since the IDF withdrawal in 2005. The IDF on Wednesday brought the Jerusalem Post and selected other media outlets to view Hamas's infrastructure at Al-Shifa Hospital, especially its several hundred-meter tunnel network, up close. This was the first time that a reporter from the Post had crossed into Gaza since the IDF withdrawal in 2005, and it brought up close everything the IDF had found since November 15 that Hamas had tried desperately to hide at Shifa Hospital. Laid out next to the Qatar facility within the Shifa complex was a vast amount not only of Hamas guns and grenades which the IDF found hidden throughout the hospital, but also rocket-propelled grenade launchers, large and small advanced drones for delivering explosives, and a variety of sophisticated intelligence platforms. J-Post enters the depths of Hamas's terror tunnels. The vastness of the tunnel itself, with the Post viewing a variety of sophisticated rooms and the blast door which the IDF displayed earlier this week, was testimony to how important this location was to Hamas. Among the rooms was a spacious bedroom with 2 large beds and a large modern air conditioning unit, a kitchenette, a bathroom, and other facilities, as well as extensive plumbing and electrical wiring to enable all of the infrastructure. 2 members of the IDF Special Yahalom Unit for uncovering tunnels and IDF Chief Spokesman Brig. General Daniel Hagari described the process of discovering the tunnel as a huge riddle. They had intelligence about Hamas's tunnel network at Shifa Hospital long before arriving at the site. However, not only is the hospital site immense, with an extensive number of spread-out buildings and courtyards, but also, they said, they had found signs that Hamas went out of its way to cover up and fill in the already well-concealed tunnels once they suspected that the IDF might take control of Shifa. This meant that the Yahalom unit had to survey and inspect a large amount of land and courtyards around and between the Shifa hospital buildings. An initial breakthrough came on November 17th when the IDF destroyed a small structure that looked suspicious and was able to find one of the shafts and entrances to the greater tunnel network under the rubble of that structure. The IDF showed the post where the structure had previously stood and the initial shaft of the tunnel which they found, including the unusual spiral staircase which the IDF had presented at a press conference. However, only several days later were they able to locate the more important part of the tunnel network, including all of the specialized rooms, likely used by Hamas battalion commanders. Part of the delay was due to the priority of searching room to room for Hamas's weapons, intelligence, and anything linked to hostages. Another delay came when the IDF announced on November 19th that it had arrived at a blast door whose breach required great care if troops were not to lose the opportunity to follow the tunnel beyond the door. The post was able to see the broken door and the hundreds of additional meters of the Hamas tunnel network beyond that point. A taste of Hamas's Shifa secrets. The extensive weapons that IDF Colonel Elad Zuri presented were, he said, just a taste of what Hamas had hidden throughout the Shifa hospital complex, considering that all the displayed weapons were only found in the last 48 hours. This meant that all of the weapons, military equipment, and intelligence material that the IDF seized and publicized to the world in the early days of the Shifa Hamas discoveries, including those hidden behind an MRI machine, were located in another area. Zuri said, these items were found both in indoor and outdoor common areas, courtyards of the hospital as well as in patients' rooms, and some in the vehicles of Hamas's Nukbay elite unit, which were found on the hospital's grounds. Further, Zuri noted that the IDF had found RPGs, improvised explosive devices, grenades, guns, drones, and materials used by Hamas naval commandos. The IDF colonel said that Hamas had been completely rooted out of the Shifa area, which was once one of its top locations, but that there were still pockets of Hamas resistance in other parts of northern Gaza. Zuri admitted that until he was given the order to go into Shifa, he had never imagined he would set foot on such a key Hamas command center, but added that he felt it was an honor to have been given the mission to allow future generations of our children to live securely. This is the end of our program today. See you on Intervlog same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thank you for watching Intervlog. Thank you.